This week on Monero Talk is sponsored by Monero.com wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero safely on iOS and Android too. Monero.com wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys. And by IVPN. Resist online surveillance with IVPN, a privacy-focused, audited, and transparent VPN provider that accepts Monero directly. Monero.com wallet and IVPN are trusted and verified by the Monero community. Monero Talk is also made possible from contributions by viewers and listeners like you. And supporting us is easier than ever by typing in our YAT, free speech money, into your Monero.com or Cake wallet send address field to send us a tip. This week on Monero Talk. Doug and I headed off to FreedomFest 2022 in Las Vegas, Nevada. We were happy to report yet again that it was a huge success. We served up fresh, gratuitous pour-overs this time and spoke to tons of freedom fighters about Monero, the importance of privacy, and true digital cash. Once again, thank you to Monero.com for helping fund part of our trip and the funds they provided for giveaways. It was truly a hit. Many were excited to receive a $10 Monero tip on the spot. Lots went on during this short trip, so please stay tuned for all the wonderful and interesting content. Douglas Tuman interviews Larry Sharpe, the Libertarian candidate who is running for governor of New York. This special edition of Monero Talk starts now.
We are back at FreedomFest, talking to tons of people. Larry, what's going on?
I'm loving FreedomFest like there is no tomorrow. I mean, this is a place where people are thinking differently, but more importantly, not angry at each other, which they are every other place. They're not angry at each other, which is great. And we see all different ideas, like crypto ideas, ideas for other types of finance, gold, you see that here too. You see political people thinking. Andrew Yang is here. I mean, everybody who you can imagine is showing up at this place. Rand Paul and Andrew Yang on the same stage. Come on now, this is a great place.
Free exchange of ideas. It's beautiful. This is what it should be like everywhere, right? Not just at FreedomFest.
We shouldn't be the oddballs, right? We should be the norm. 100%, yes. But sadly, we're not always. Yes.
Now, do you mind quickly introducing yourself? You're quite famous, actually.
I'm famous. I like that. I wish more people would think the way you think. I'm Larry Sharpe, running for governor of New York. Yes, my second time. I'm crazy. I'm silly to do it, but you have to. You have to get out there and let people know what's going on and change the entire conversation. So yes, I am from New York, Larry Sharpe. Sharpe with an E, and the E stands for electable. And by the way, I'm also very good looking.
We're from New York as well.
Nice.
Also good. We're both also good looking as well.
100% true. Yes, that does matter. That does matter. Yes.
Also liberty-loving individuals. I ran for Congress in New York in 2020, so I know what it's like. New York isn't really the most friendly place to run for office if you have liberty-loving ideas. Is that fair to say?
Not at all. And you might say to yourself, well, why do I care about this Larry Sharpe guy? These people from New York, why do I care? I don't live in New York. Because all the horrible things that happen in New York, they're coming to you. That's why, because New York State is the real battleground state. You are right. If you care about freedom, if you care about liberty, if you care about personal growth, all those things, all the bad things start in New York. If we can stop it in New York, we can stop it everywhere. And that's why I'm on the battleground. I'm on the front line trying to stop this. You're completely correct.
And one of those bad things is New York not being a very crypto-friendly place. We got the Bit license. Yes. They're now just trying to ban, Bitcoin mining. Yes. And what I'm most interested in is, Monero, true digital cash. And in New York, there's actually no way to easily even obtain Monero. It's not on Coinbase. It's not on Gemini. It's not on any of the Bit licensed exchanges. You can't even get Monero in New York.
The worst part about this is New York State is bleeding people, bleeding money, and we've decided, you know what we should do? Let's crush all new innovation. That was our answer. Let's crush innovation. Bit license is the dumbest thing possible. But the guy named Lawsky made it. And
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm happy to just call him out. The guy works for the government, creates a bit license maze, then leaves the government and becomes a consultant. You have to pay him 6 figures to get the bit license. Wow. Here's how all cryptocurrency should work. Very simple in New York State. As an individual, you pick one of 3 things. You say, I'm going to be a bank. Okay, you're a bank. You accept that you're a bank. That's what you are. You take your money in, no fractured banking at all. You give it out however you like. You are a bank. You're treated that way. Or number 2, I'm an investor. I want to invest back and forth, whatever the case may be. I want to buy and I want to sell. All good. You are an investor. All good. Or 3, I'm a retailer. I just want to take money in. I want to pay my bills back and forth through crypto. All good. Say which one or ones if you want to be more than one. 2 separate entities. Be more than one if you want 3 entities. But that's how the state sees you. But, well, Larry, how do you pay taxes? No worries. Sales tax is at the end of every month, right? So if you're doing retailing, if it's retailing, you're going to pay sales tax. And every month or every quarter, whatever you want, you take whatever money you have, look at the last rolling 30-day period of what that value is in US dollars, pay your taxes. Done. Keep using money any way you want. I don't care. Quarterly, yearly, monthly, last 30-day rolling, that's what you pay. Done deal. Now, if you are going to be instead an investor, you only pay tax when you change it into fiat. If you don't change it into fiat, don't do it. Now, people say, wait a minute, that's against the law. No, it isn't. Why? What if I were to trade and say Beanie Babies or comic books, right? If I have a comic book collection and I trade my Iron Man for your Batman, right? I don't pay tax on that. I pay tax if I sell the Iron Man comic, or if I sell the Batman comic, then I pay tax. Treat it like that. Everybody's happy. No worries. But Larry, we won't have control over back and forth. You don't have control of my Beanie Babies or my baseball cards or my whatever comic books anyway, and the people aren't dying. But Larry, crypto's all about bad guys doing bad things. The number 1 currency used to do bad things in America and around the world is cash, US dollars. If you want to stop bad people doing bad stuff with money, get rid of dollars.
And just so I understand, so let's say I open up a pizza shop in New York. I'm accepting Monero.
Yep.
Your opinion is that if that business is receiving Monero, or the people that are paying the Monero, should they be paying capital gains on that transaction?
Not at all. The only person who pays is the retailer pays their sales tax at the end of every quarter or every month, whatever the local people want to do, and they don't look at that day's numbers. It's a 30-day rolling, so you can't scam it. It's a 30-day rolling average. What is it worth? 30 days? Pay that, good to go.
Yeah.
Done.
I mean, why not just treat it exactly like cash itself, right?
Because I don't want the government taking it. I want the government staying separate. Once the government's involved in crypto, that's a bad thing. So let us have crypto, government can keep fiat.
Oh, like they won't even accept crypto for tax payments, for tax bill payments.
I don't want that. Let the government keep fiat, we'll keep the rest. Because once the government's involved in fiat, in crypto, we're in trouble. So I want to separate them. I don't want the government to have control of crypto.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I think the ideal is we build our own circular economy with crypto.
100%. Now, if the government wants to take crypto, that's fine, but then by default, they will create a monopoly. If they decide whatever, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Monero, if they decide that that's their currency, that's going to skew the entire market. Let's say New York State decides, Monero is my currency. You'll be happy, but they've just now made a problem in the market. They've skewed the market. I'd rather them say, we'll take fiat, you pay in yourself in whatever you want. Let the market decide what the good and bad currencies are. We're going to take fiat either way.
Yeah, like currencies freely compete.
Whatever they want.
And people have choice, like anything else. It's a commodity.
Absolutely.
I want to use Monero, you want to use Bitcoin, whatever it may be.
But think about it. If a government says, we're going to use only Monero, we're going to only use Bitcoin, that skews the entire market.
Yeah, that's like what we saw in El Salvador, right? I mean, and they did it through mandate, which I don't think that was the right way to go with that.
What I'm saying is, look, I'm not mad at them. I'm glad they're doing it. There are going to be hiccups and problems and growing pains using crypto. So I'm glad El Salvador did what they did, but you're right, it could have been done better. Hopefully we learn from that, and the next time it's better. If that makes any sense. But if once we start just going, government only takes X, I see a problem with that.
How do we get to the point where, I'm living in New York, I have cash, I just want to essentially turn it into Monero without KYC AML. I want to walk into the corner bodega and, and with $100 in cash and come out with $100 worth of Monero. Do we ever get to that point in New York?
This is why you become a retailer. So you just buy stuff with X and get change in Y. Doesn't matter, right? I can buy X, get change in Y.
I like the change thing. I've been talking about that for a while.
Correct. If a retailer wants to give change, who cares? The retailer, all they have to worry about is, do they pay their sales tax? That's it. KYC doesn't matter. No one, for those that know your customer. Know your customer laws are irrelevant when it comes to retail, your transactions. So do it as a retail transaction. Who cares? Right? First off, I don't like KYC laws at all. All they do is hurt the average person. The bad guys still get around it. There's still terrorism. There's still bad guys. That stuff's still happening. So the KYC laws did not work. All they do is hurt individuals. However, if you're going to keep them, we can't get rid of them. Retailers don't need it. So give X, give back in Y. Who cares? All good. As long as they're paying their sales tax, why does the government care?
So what do we got to do to get this off the ground? How do we get people in New York, opting out of fiat and opting into crypto?
Yep.
I mean, there's BitLicense sucks. There are a lot of, but there is no law stopping anybody right now from accepting, Monero in their pizzeria or in their barbershop.
Right.
But how do we speed up that adoption?
There are two parts. There kind of is a law, meaning that if they think you've done something wrong, they will audit you and find a problem and punish you. So while there isn't a specific law, that kind of is. The second part is it's cultural. We need more people like you doing what you're doing, right? Showing uses, helping people. I love what you're doing, that kind of stuff, right? That's one. But two, people like me who are out front talking about it, saying, why are you afraid? Let's do this, let's do this. The more of that, it will change the culture. Once the culture changes, it'll be okay. The average person still thinks, oh, crypto, that's bad, the world's gonna end. That's gotta change. They've gotta be more comfortable with it and then go, okay, I can do this. So it's a cultural shift, number one, but it's also a legal shift. We shouldn't be punishing people in general for not following the rules. Look, I get it, government wants to take your taxes. I'm not gonna stop, I wish I could stop it, but I can't stop that right now. So just make a rule to where as long as you're paying your taxes, leave me alone. We do that, we'll be better.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Where can people learn more about you, follow you, get to know you?
I'm on all the interweb things, all of them, from TikTok to YouTube to Twitter to Facebook, all of them. Larry Sharpe, LarrySharpe, and of course, LarrySharpe.com.
Do you accept Monero donations for your campaign?
Accept cryptocurrency. I don't know which one. You can click the link for donations if you want to, and there's a crypto link. I actually don't know if we take Monero. I know we take cryptocurrency.
Do you use Monero at all?
No, I don't use Monero. No, I don't use any of that stuff yet. I'm still on cash only right now.
Okay.
Yes, but I do own Bitcoin.
Can we send you some Monero? We'll hook you up.
God,
We'll
please,
send you
yes.
$10 worth of Monero. We'll get you hooked up.
I'm gonna buy some of their coffee. Buy their coffee.
One last question about the cash, because you bring it up. And I feel like people do understand the importance of needing cash.
Yep.
Like even in New York, you talk to people,
Yep.
you get them going, and you say, hey, we might live in a world 5-10 years from now where cash doesn't exist, and
Right.
they wake up to that, especially in New York. People are cash friendly in New York,
yes,
but
some people
they're
are
not
okay
making
with
the connection then to crypto, as crypto being the solution for that.
Well, there are two things. One, I think you want to have more people using crypto. Some people still think, I think most people still think of crypto as an investment, not as a currency. So again, that's a cultural issue, right? Obviously, you can buy stuff with crypto, obviously. But many people are thinking, no, it's an investment. I buy it and I hold it and then I sell it to buy my car, right? They think that thing. So changing that idea. But the second thing is understanding that some people are okay with no cash because it's easy. But when I tell people, yeah, it is easy, and now everybody knows exactly what you bought, where you bought it from, where you were. Do you want everybody tracking you? And people go, oh, yeah. Every time you swipe that card, somebody's tracking you. In fact, probably multiple people are tracking you, and they're selling that data someplace. Yeah. You give somebody $5, $10, they don't know where that came from, how it came. That's a whole lot better for our privacy.
But the scariest people are those that you tell them that, they're like, yeah, no, I don't care. I'll just use Venmo. It's free. Like, well, I got nothing to hide.
Right, yes. Yes. They have nothing to hide until they're investigated.
Right.
Yes.
Until they no longer have liberty, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
They'll keep saying that when they're in Rikers Island. Yeah, exactly. It's a problem. I agree.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much. You certainly get it. Much respect to you. Thank you for getting the word out on all these important issues.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode. We release new episodes every week. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube, Odyssey, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Go to monerotalk.live to subscribe for a full list of places where you can watch and listen. If you want to interact with us, guests, or other podcast listeners, you can follow us on Twitter. And please leave us a review on iTunes. It helps people find the show, and we are always happy to read them. So thanks so much, and we look forward to being back next week.